What do an erupting volcano, a flooded forest, and a 250-year-old revolution all have in common? They were all part of our 2025 adventures in the national parks.
From witnessing the raw power of Pele at Kilauea to paddling through Congaree's wild backwaters to walking Boston's Freedom Trail ahead of America's 250th anniversary, these were the experiences that reminded us why the parks matter so much.
Come relive our top 3 favorite national park moments of the year and maybe get a few ideas for your 2026 bucket list. This is the Exploring the National Parks podcast with Dirt in My Shoes. My name is Ash, and I'm a former park ranger and the founder of Dirt in My Shoes. I think that the parks are best seen from the trail, and I'm here to make national park trip planning easy.
And I'm John. I carry the kids on the trails, I tell stories, and notice all the things that Ash doesn't care about much, like rocks.
Join us as we show you around America's spectacular national parks.
We're sharing our favorite places, fun facts, adventures, and misadventures.
And we'll even throw in a little trip planning.
Let's start exploring.
Well, it's been a year. I can't believe it.
I know.
2025. It's almost over.
Come and gone.
Sheesh. What a year, too. And honestly, in a lot of ways, a sad year for the national parks.
It was a rough year for the national parks.
Yeah, but this is a fun podcast, so we're not talking about that. We're talking about fun things that happened in the national parks this year, specifically to us.
Yes, exactly. And there was one national park in particular that had a very good year. And
really? Which one was that? Oh,
that's our number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, where are we going with that? Okay. Yes. So we like to recap at the end of the year, tell you kind of our top 3 favorite experiences that we had so that you can maybe add them to your own bucket list.
Exactly.
And the one John just talked about, the one park that had a really good year, you might still be able to add it to your bucket list. A little time sensitive.
Yeah.
But you know what? If it's still happening, it should definitely be on your bucket list. So,
absolutely.
John, let's jump in. We are counting down. So we're starting with experience number 3. This is the one you were really excited about. And I too, but John is the storyteller and the history buff. So.
Oh my gosh. Number 3 was so much fun for me because 2026 is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Go America.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And a lot of the national parks have things going on. And I think what a lot of people don't realize, and this is why we wanted to talk about it now, because you can keep this top of mind as you're making your plans for 2026. Which parks do you want to celebrate the, birthplace of the country in?
I know. It's so
Where
cool.
do you want to go?
And I don't know if a lot of people realize how many Revolutionary War sites there are in the national park system. There are so many.
And so this number 3 is Boston National Historic Park. We went there over the summer. Imagine my surprise when I'm like, okay, we're going to Acadia, but I've always wanted to go to Boston and actually spend some time there. And so we added on some days in Boston before Acadia. And we get to Faneuil Hall, kind of the main first stop in Boston that we wanted to go to. And it's national park everything.
And we're greeted by a bunch of rangers, a couple of volunteers.
Hold on, wait. I didn't do my research because we just thought we were exploring a city. And turns out the National Park Service runs a ton of stuff in Boston.
We expect that when we go to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and we knew that about Washington, D.C.
But this was just kind of ooh, this is nice.
We were like, we feel like we're home.
Yeah, it was a very welcome surprise because we thought that we were basically just, having to put this together on our own. There wasn't going to be very many things because National Park Service sites generally give you resources and maps and direction. There's volunteers and rangers there to help you. And so we were like, okay, we'll go to Boston. We'll do did you like how I said Boston?
Boston.
We went to Boston and we figured we'd do the hop on, hop off shuttle, which was great.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Because everybody was like, just do hop on, hop off. And we're like, okay, that's literally, I made reservations for that. And I found donut shops and cannoli shops and Boston cream pie shops. That was the extent of my planning for Boston.
It was such a different experience. It was so funny. Ash has all these like food. We ate our way through Boston. And so it
I
was
know, and your dad's like, "Another donut?" And I was like, "Another donut? What kind of blasphemy is that?" "Yes, another donut. That's
uh,
why we're here."
I know. It was so funny. We have two boys. One of them, his sweet tooth is beyond, like, there's so much.
That kid packs down sugar like it's nothing, and it affects him not a
Oh
bit.
my gosh. And then the other one, he eats half a cannoli. He's like, I think I'm done for the day. You know? It's like, and so we got so many cannolis and donuts, and it was the best way to be patriotic.
Do you know what I learned about cannolis?
What?
I don't like them. Even if they're the best ones in the world, like you find in Boston, I was like, donut all day, every day.
Yeah. And actually it was pretty funny. We liked our cannolis day after.
Yeah, when
Like,
they were a little softer,
uh-huh, exactly.
like a donut with
What
cream.
yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so
Oh.
it was really cool because we went into Faneuil Hall and they had park rangers there and they had the Junior Ranger book that covers all sorts of sites around Boston.
Mhm.
And they had maps and, resources for the Freedom Trail and they have audio tours
Mhm.
for a couple of different things you can do there. And what's cool, like we said, is like this is the birthplace of America. Like the Revolutionary War history is so condensed
Uh-huh.
into this one area. You can learn all the things and, see so much. And oh my gosh, it's amazing.
I know. It was
And
so
so,
cool.
what better place to be for the 250th anniversary in 2026?
Oh,
I don't
and
think you can beat it.
no, you really can't. It was so much fun, and they have the just the fact that we were able to be in that place almost for the 250th. These words are 250 years old, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Those ideas, 250 years old. So find a place. Boston was where we found, we did 249 there. We may find another place for 250 in
I don't think there's a
2026.
better place than
But
Boston,
it
though.
it was awesome.
And so we said we kind of started at Faneuil Hall, which was the Great Hall. It was a center of debate and discussion. It has been there since 1742. I mean,
Hmm.
all those ideas that you just read were discussed heavily and fought over in words in Faneuil Hall.
Right.
And so it's cool to stand there. You can actually go to the upper level and see the assembly room
Hmm.
where they gathered and they argued and they discussed. And oh my gosh, when you started saying, we hold these truths to be self evident,
Uh-huh.
I was wrapping it in my mind from Hamilton. You know how she does. Anyway,
So good.
other stuff though. So the Freedom Trail, which is a 2.5-mile route through downtown Boston, and it takes you to everything, like all these national park sites we're talking about, plus the Paul Revere House, Old North Church, Old South Meeting House.
Mm,
That's where the Boston Tea Party began. Like just so much history packed along these 2.5 miles that you can walk
mhm.
through the center of Boston.
I know.
And also, Boston was a really clean and like safe feeling city to
Yeah.
me. I really just liked the city in general.
Yeah.
But then you have the Freedom Trail, which literally is like
Red bricks.
red bricks that you're following all around town and seeing just these amazing historical sites.
Yeah, so you'll have like a regular sidewalk, gray concrete sidewalk, and then right in the middle is this really pretty red brick trail that you just follow, and it takes you to everything, which is so unique. I've never seen something like that.
So, one of the places it will take you is Bunker Hill, which was where the first major battle in what would soon become known as the American Revolution.
Yeah,
That's where it started.
this was
That's where they say, "Don't shoot until you see the white of their eyes."
that came out of this battle.
Crazy. You can stand on that hill.
I know, it's so fun. If you don't know what the importance of Bunker Hill was, which I really don't think I understood until A, we went there, and B, I listened to recently to Ken Burns. He's talking about his new documentary series about the Revolutionary
I'm
War.
so excited about that.
I'm so pumped, but he was kind of talking about it. And basically, the way I kind of now think about Bunker Hill is like when I was younger, my younger brother and I, we would wrestle all the time. I used to love wrestling with him mainly because I'm 4 years older than him, and for the majority of our childhood, I could just beat the crap out of him. It wasn't even close.
Not true anymore, as
It
happens.
it was never close until one day. It was, and I've never been able to beat him really since. But that first time that he like actually put up a real good fight, like ever since then he's walked differently. You know, he was just so like I don't know, he just held himself a little bit differently around me, and then every time we wrestled again, I was more worried. That's kind of like what Bunker Hill was. You know, you have this ragtag group of militia from a backwater colony that took on the greatest military in the world, and then they lost the battle, you know, eventually, but that was the first time they ever held their own, and they had a
Mhm.
taste of how strong their movement really was. And from that time on, being a patriot had a lot more gravity to
Yeah.
it. And so that's what Bunker Hill was. They lost the battle, but they put up the first real good fight of the revolutionary movement. And
And
so
you
it's
can feel it there. That's what's cool.
yeah,
You can feel it when you're standing in these spaces.
yeah.
And I think the last, I mean, like we said, there's a lot of sites that you can see along the Freedom Trail, and we did, I think most of them, or at least the majority,
Mhm.
with the short amount of time that we had. But John, this is the one that you were the most excited about, I think, just knowing what we knew about Boston going in, which wasn't a whole lot, but
The USS Constitution. Oh my gosh, we were so excited to see this ship. Okay, so because the boys and I had been listening to the Rest is History podcast, and they were talking about Lord Nelson, and we had recently watched Master and Commander with Russell Crowe, and so we were just pumped to finally see like one of these Revolutionary War era types of sailing war vessels. And so it was, I mean, I was talking to my kids about this. The USS Constitution typically carried about 54 cannons. And for context, in August of 1776, when the British landed on Long Island and they deployed 15,000 men to fight the Continental Army, if it was that at that point, they only had 40 cannons with their 15,000 men that they deployed onto Long Island. And so to think that the USS Constitution had as much firepower as a whole army, that's a huge deal.
see, this is why we need to do a video podcast. You would not believe John's face right now. He is so excited.
It's like, okay, so because when one of these ships, like the USS Constitution or the HMS Victory, you know, for Lord Nelson or whatever ships they have at this time, when one of those rolled into port, or when one of those showed up on the scene and there was a battle, it was basically like the freaking Death Star just arrived. And all of the firepower, some of these cannons, you know, depending on the size, can shoot for miles.
That's just crazy to me.
And some of these are just shooting, bombarding whatever they're going after, and it's just crazy. It's Armageddon when one of these ships showed up. And if you imagine like one of them fighting side by side like in Pirates of the Caribbean, and sometimes you think, nah, that's not how it would have been. It's totally like how it would have been. You've got splinters just flying everywhere. And that's why it's so cool that the USS Constitution is called Old Ironsides, is because when you
I'm sorry. You are so funny. He is so excited. So excited.
because splinters killed so many people on these naval ships, because you have basically just so much.
Projectiles, like
Yeah.
skewers.
You think cannons
Yeah.
getting fired over and over and over again, giant iron balls just going through these wooden ships, splinters everywhere. And so then if you have a ship that basically is impenetrable on the outsides, it makes a huge difference. And so USS Constitution is made out of live oak.
Oh my gosh.
And and so you have all of
I'm
these.
sorry. Oh, okay. Yes, it's made out of southern live oak,
Uh-huh.
which I went to Georgia this year and went to Cumberland Island.
Yeah.
And that's where they sort that area is where they sourced the live oak for the Constitution.
Right.
So that was where I got excited about it. Not all this other stuff, because I was like, oh, I saw the trees this was made out of.
Yeah.
But why was it called Old Ironsides?
Because in the War of 1812, when you had these British vessels, they're firing their cannons at the USS Constitution, and those cannonballs are literally just like dunk. They're slamming into the sides and they can't get through. They're just like bouncing
They
off.
were bouncing off the side of the ship,
Exactly.
which is nuts.
It's like
Yeah.
the Death Star's giant death ray bouncing off of whatever they're shooting at. You know,
Oh my
Alderaan, you know, if when the Death Star blows up Alderaan, and if it would have just like reflected back, and then what, you know, it's like the Admiral is just like, well, we tried, you know.
Can
that's
you
what
tell he was excited to see the ship? Okay, but
And so it's really cool. It's an amazing ship. You get to see how they lived. You get to see and everything is perfectly preserved, and it's still a commissioned warship in the U.S. Navy.
it's the oldest commissioned warship afloat in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The War of 1812 was its main, like, that's what it's known for, right? Against the British Royal Navy.
Yep, suck on that, British.
It is run by the National Park Service,
Mhm.
which we didn't realize.
Right.
And you have to bring your ID. I learned that the hard way. I did not have my ID with me, and they wouldn't let me in.
Yes, definitely.
we had to
Because
go
they
back.
they want to keep people, I don't know, they just want to verify identities before they let people on the boat.
Well, like you said, it's still a commissioned warship,
Right.
right? It's still part of the Navy. So they run your ID.
Mm-hmm.
But what's cool is you can go and you can walk around all over on it. Like you can see stuff. I think what was surprising to me, it's not that big of a ship. I mean, it is for the time or whatever, you know,
Right.
but you get on there and there were like so many spots for cannons that there almost weren't any spots for people.
Right.
And it was like there were people and cannons. Like I don't know where the people stayed because the cannons were like there were so many holes to put cannons out that ship. It was remarkable.
It's incredible.
You could see whisperings, you know, of what it would have been back at that time.
Yeah. If you want to see like real life, what it would have kind of been like, one of the best depictions on film, watch Master and Commander with Russell Crowe, because it really will depict kind of how the people would have moved around, how crowded the ship kind of would have felt, where they slept. And when they did practice with the cannons and things, what their drills would have looked like. And so you can kind of picture it as you're sitting on the ship and as you're ducking, because I'm 6'3" on a good day. As I'm walking around the ship, Ash is just like standing tall. And, you know, oh, this is a wonderful experience. And I'm just ducking, walking around because
John would not have made a good shipman. He would have
No.
been way too tall.
I would have had to have been an officer on the top deck all the time.
Yeah.
It would have been rough.
Oh my gosh, Kay, you can just feel the excitement. So, what a cool experience for us going into Boston, expecting to explore a city, but instead ending up in an area that it felt like home. There
Yeah.
was so much national park stuff everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the main things that you want to see are many of them are run by the National Park Service.
Right.
So, what a cool experience. What a surprise. And one of the best adventures we had this year.
Yeah. So as you get ready for the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 2026, consider a Revolutionary War site. It'll be a big deal this year.
All right, we could do a whole episode about the Constitution. I feel like you could story tell
Yeah.
battle by battle.
Oh,
But we're going to move on to number 2, and number 2 adventure that we had that we just feel like was phenomenal this
Mhm.
year in a national park was kayaking Cedar Creek in Congaree National Park, South Carolina.
mm-hmm. This one was really neat. And
He's not as excited about kayaking as a warship.
Uh,
You can tell. He's coming down off his high.
I think I think we probably had to keep Congaree as number 2 because it's a traditional, like, Dirt in My Shoes National Park
I
experience.
loved it. This one was a surprise for me, and
Yeah.
I always like to highlight the places that it's like, "Whoa, wait, what?"
Uh-huh.
I was not expecting this to be so cool, and so Congaree is a very underrated national park.
Yeah.
Despite being right outside of Columbia, which is a big population center, like, this park is very, very not visited.
No.
And we weren't that excited to go there necessarily just because I'm not a creepy crawly creature type of person, and so that didn't sound fun to me. But I was shocked at how much I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I legitimately did, and the highlight for sure was kayaking Cedar Creek.
Mhm.
And we went with a guide. I would never attempt to do this on my own. I felt so out of my wheelhouse
Yeah.
in this environment.
Maybe 2 more times doing it, and we'll have the confidence
Maybe,
to
but
do
it's
it by
different
ourselves.
every time depending on the water levels. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I would just get back there and be like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. So we went on a guided kayaking tour with Carolina Adventures and would highly, highly recommend them. They were amazing.
Mhm.
And we talk about this a lot in episode 130, our Exploring Congaree episode.
Mhm.
So go listen to that because we go into a lot of detail just about how cool the experience was and how great they were when they were guiding us. But a couple of fun facts about Cedar Creek. Water levels in Cedar Creek can fluctuate as much as 10 feet
That's crazy.
because it's a floodplain.
Uh-huh.
So you never know. Like I said, you never. I can imagine me being like, oh, yeah, I got this. Like, I've done it a few times. I've got this. I can do it on my own. And then getting in there and having it be like, nope, nothing looks the same. Everything's different.
I know, you never run the same river twice, and that never is more true than at Cedar Creek because
Yeah.
the water levels. Because when we were talking about, Congaree and the fun facts, one of the fun facts I think is that 90% of the park gets covered by water at least 10 times per year in
Isn't that
major flooding
crazy?
events. Major
Yeah.
flooding events are always happening. And so this river can be so different every single time you go through it. And so you might be able to paddle to new places and get
Well, and that's
lost.
what, yeah. And that's what the guides were talking about. Like, they're so experienced. Like, Billy, the guy who runs the company, and he was on our tour. He was like, oh, yeah, like, when it flooded, it didn't have this huge flood last year or whatever. And we came in, not with the tour group, just for fun. They came in and he was like, we got to get to all these places we've never been before through the trees. And so, you're just guiding your kayak through this because everything's flooded.
Mhm.
And so there's no real path. And I'm just like, that doesn't sound fun.
Right.
That sounds scary. But I mean, he knew what he was doing and he made it back, obviously. It's just like, whoo. So I think that's why it was like such a cool experience for me because I love when I feel out of my element. Like I'm not in control,
Mhm.
but I'm safely taken care of. Like I have people with me who know what they're doing.
Right.
And so I can step out of my comfort zone with confidence and have a really cool adventure I wouldn't otherwise have had.
Yeah.
And, live to tell the tale and be so excited about it. Like, look what I did.
Yeah.
This is so cool. So that's what kayaking Cedar Creek felt like to me. I got off that and I was like, that was amazing. And look what I did.
I know. It was so cool. One of the reasons for me why I thought it was so much fun is because we entered 2 things. The first thing we entered was the food chain, is what it felt like.
Yeah. Like we are not the top of the food chain in here, I don't think.
We were being eaten from there's opportunity to be eaten from all parts of the food web, really, at that point, where you've got mosquitoes and spiders and snakes and stuff like that. But in my mind, the second thing you entered was basically Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Because not only do you have giant spiders like in the Chamber of Secrets with Aragog and like I think it's an Acurantula or something like that. Don't know how to say it. But anyways, there's mammal eating spiders
And
in
it felt like that in Congaree. Did you
Yes.
say thin? Yeah, I mean, because there are real mammal eating spiders.
Yes,
in Congaree.
exactly. It's not just Harry Potter and Harry and Ron in the car, trying to dodge these giant spiders. It's you in a kayak But also, it's not just the spiders. There's also, just like Chamber of Secrets, the basilisk. You have all these snakes, the
Huge snake.
water moccasins, cottonmouth, all the tons of
That's what I'm
snakes.
saying. Like, thank goodness for Billy being there.
Right.
Because he was, first of all, he could see everything. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, no, that's a branch. And he's like, that's a snake. Oh boy. But he was familiar enough and comfortable enough with those types of creatures. Whereas I think if I would have seen a snake, my first snake, I'm like, I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But I could feel more confident going through the Chamber of Secrets with Billy. He was my Harry Potter.
He was Fox the Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
So Harry Potter needed Fox, just like we
Oh,
needed
I was Harry Potter.
Harry. Yes, you were Harry Potter in this analogy.
Okay.
You're Harry Potter.
I'm confused in this analogy.
And
Sorry.
Billy is Fox the Phoenix.
Okay.
So
Saved me from
saved you.
basilisk.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Nice. Anyway, super cool experience. If you can get out there, do it. Don't hesitate. Like, just go do it. And make sure you have Fox, the Phoenix, with you
Mm-hmm.
if you're not comfortable in that type of landscape.
Way to work in that metaphor, Ash.
I know. Billy from Carolina Adventures was awesome. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. Our number one experience in 2025. Honestly, probably our number one experience ever in the history of our national park travel and the future.
Oh, man.
I'm not sure how we're going to top this, but if you listened to our favorite Volcano National Parks episode,
Mhm.
which we will put in the show notes, we'll link in the show notes because it's a really cool episode. I vowed, I'm pretty sure it was in this episode, maybe it was somewhere else, but I vowed that the next time there was flowing magma in
Lava.
I vowed the next time there was flowing lava in Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, I was just going to drop everything and go.
Mm-hmm. And we've been waiting on the edge of our seat for a very long time.
Because we've been to Hawaii Volcanoes several times over the past 10 years and have never seen any lava.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a little bit of steam, and that's pretty much it.
Right.
Generally, the park is pretty quiet when it comes to this. So imagine my surprise when December 2024, Kilauea, the main volcano in Hawaii Volcanoes, starts erupting.
Mm-hmm.
And not just erupting, fountaining, like shooting lava into the air. And I'm like, dude, like I said, I was going to go see this. Unfortunately, we were so heavily packed in travel plans, we didn't have time. We could not fit it in anywhere. We were too packed. And so it took a long time. In 2025, luckily, the volcano has erupted at this point more than 30 times. I mean, we're coming up on 40 times.
Right.
Fountaining episodes, like shooting the lava into the air over 2025.
Which is
it's
crazy.
Been all year.
So crazy. It's basically turned into Old Faithful in a lot of ways.
It's amazing. So we did finally make it. We saw Kilauea erupt in Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. We saw the lava shoot into the sky 1,500 feet.
Oh my gosh.
There are no words.
Mm-hmm. I know. It was amazing. It was an experience. Listen, I thought, because Yellowstone is my favorite national park, and I love the geysers. They're a really cool illustration that things are going on under the surface of the earth that are mysterious and powerful. But compared to what I saw this year, those are just water guns spurting out of the earth.
It was like fire. Fire.
Volcanoes are the real flex.
It was insane.
Kilauea is the real bicep of the world. And every once in a while, when it flexes and we just get to stand back in awe as we realize how small we actually are on this giant cosmic ball flying through space, it's like I thought I had seen the Earth's raw power before. I had not. This was incredible.
And how amazing, like, it is unreal how close we were standing to a fountaining volcano, an erupting volcano. We could feel the heat on our faces.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was warm. from this eruption. And what's cool, so we got to Hawaii. We did drop everything as soon as we could.
Mhm.
We got to Hawaii on a Thursday, and then they give you like a time frame, 5 days usually when the scientists think it's going to erupt sometime during then. And so we just figured we would be on volcano watch the whole time we were in Hawaii. I just booked my flights for like the beginning of the time frame and the end of the time frame, hoping that if as long as the scientists were correct, we would be there during the eruption at some point.
Right.
And so we were staying in Volcano, the town right outside of Hawaii Volcanoes. It's like a 5-minute drive into the park. So we were perfectly placed, and we had the USGS webcams up on the TV
The whole time.
the whole time. We were just watching what the volcano was doing anytime we were back at the Airbnb. And then Friday, we were like, okay, well, it's doing some pretty cool things. Like it was sputtering, and sometimes the vent would, one of the vents would overflow, and it would make like a lava river
Mhm.
going down the side of the vent. And we could see that happening. And we're like, no, that's still like way more than we've ever seen in this national park.
Mhm.
So we set our alarms for like every 2 hours during the night to get up and check the webcams so that we made sure we didn't miss the eruption, because a lot of times it erupts overnight.
And people sleep through it.
Yeah. And we're like, how sad would that be?
That'd
We
be the
flew all the way here last
my
minute and
So-
missed it.
Ash and I took watches.
We were so tired.
You
Oh
take
my
first
gosh.
watch, I'll take second watch.
So Friday, we're like, okay, well, let's go into the park and let's just like scout out some spots that we think we might want to watch it from, and, kind of just see what's going on. And we didn't dare do like any longer hikes or anything, because we're like, oh, wait, what if we're hiking like Kilauea Iki for 4 hours and it's erupting and we can't get back fast enough to. So we didn't want to take that risk. But so we went out, we parked at the Devastation Trail parking, which is on kind of the opposite side of the crater as the volcano house and the main viewpoints, because everybody was saying, well, don't tell anyone. This is like the secret viewing spot. This is the best place to see it. So we did that, and you have to hike like a mile down the road to get to the viewing spot. And we got there, and it was just ropes, kind of roped off in a spot, and there was a bunch of people there, and everybody was not following the rules, which is hard for me. I had myself set up like kind of on the edge, looking down towards the volcano with my tripod, and people kept crossing the rope and standing in front of me. I was Karen that trip. I was like, get out of the way. If you're going to cross the ropes, at least don't get in my pictures. So anyway, so that experience was a little bit stressful for me. Like it was cool, but I was like, I don't know. And people are all over and they're not following it, rules and stuff like that. It's not that fun for me. So we stayed for a little while and watched the river of lava come out a couple of times, and it was really cool. But then we're like, okay, well, it's just the first day that they thought it might erupt, and usually it doesn't erupt on the first day. We probably have a few days. So we left, and we went back to the Airbnb, and we were eating dinner, and we showered, and we started getting ready for bed. And I took my melatonin, and then the volcano started erupting on the webcam.
Oh my gosh. The boys were in their PJs. I was taking first watch, so I was like, I don't need to get ready for bed. But everybody else was totally ready for bed. Contacts out and everything.
It was like 7 o'clock at night, but the jet lag, I mean, it felt pretty late. So I was ready. I was ready for bed, and it starts erupting, and I'm like, no, I'm not ready.
At least it wasn't NyQuil or something that you
Yeah.
took.
So we got back in the car and we drove back in, which we were perfectly placed. It was easy for us to get back into the park from Volcano. But we didn't think we'd have time to go back to the Devastation Trail parking and hike a mile in order to get a good spot.
Or get parking at
Yeah.
that parking spot.
And so we didn't go that way. We stayed on the main road out kind of towards going to the Jagger Museum, which is no longer accessible because of the volcano. But driving along that road right there, there's a bunch of spots where you can stop and see the eruption. And we stopped at Steaming Bluffs, which was, I think, the perfect place.
Yeah.
Because everybody had a view. It's just a path along the rim of the caldera. And there was metal fencing, keeping people from being stupid and going across, underneath it to
Well,
get a
because
closer view.
on the other side, it's just a
It's just a
cliff.
cliff.
There's
Yeah.
literally nowhere to go, and so it's like, "Oh, this is actually way better than where we were on the other side of by the Devastation Trail overlook," because, you know, there is no way to get in front of us
Yeah,
or
nobody could
anybody.
go in front of anybody. We were all just in a line along this fence, and it was perfect. I
Mhm.
could not have asked for better. We could see both vents erupting really well. We could feel the heat. At one point, there was a Polynesian man that came and started chanting to Pele,
Uh-huh.
and it was amazing.
In native Hawaiian.
Yeah.
And so we were all just, like, standing there going, "Ooh, yeah, this is Pele."
Yeah. So, what was cool and what you'll see in a lot of the pictures from the eruption, you will have people who say, I saw the face of Pele in the volcano because the Hawaiian culture believes that she's the Hawaiian volcanic deity, but she actually lives in Kilauea.
Mhm.
It's one of the most active volcanoes on Earth. And so there's always stuff bubbling under the surface and stuff. And this is where Pele lives. And I just love, like, her permanent home is in the Halemaumau crater, which
Uh-huh.
is the main crater at Kilauea that you'll see. And she dwells in there. And it's just, I love because she's the creator and the destroyer,
Right.
right? She takes on both roles.
It's pretty cool.
And anyway, she's just very sacred to the Hawaiian people.
Just like in Moana.
They see her as a part of their family.
Mhm.
So they're not fearful of her. She's a part of them. She's a part of the family. She's something to be respected because of her creating and destroying
Mm.
tendencies. And I just, like, it was a spiritual experience to stand there at the mouth of a volcano and watch it fountain
Yeah.
so high into the air and to feel that heat and just see the raw power of Earth. Like, holy smokes.
And when we're talking about fountaining lava, how far, how high was this lava going, Ash?
Yeah, the highest vent was 1,500 feet in the air.
Shooting molten stone, molten rock
Crazy.
into the sky,
Yeah.
1,500 feet, which is why I'm just like flabbergasted by the raw power of nature sometimes.
So we record these podcast episodes kind of far in advance of when we actually release them.
Mm-hmm.
And so with something like this, where it's like, well, as of right now, they have another fountaining episode on, in the future plans.
Mm-hmm.
The scientists are watching and saying, yes, it's going to fountain again. And here are the dates. So it's still active as of recording today, but it can change at any time. And that's what was crazy is, like, our eruption that we saw lasted a little over 7 hours. And when it ended, it just ended.
Mm-hmm.
It was like someone turned the faucet off and it was like, yeah. Gone.
It was
like,
incredible.
what? Wait, holy smokes. Like, it didn't even gradually end. It really was just kind of like a done. So, and that can happen at any time with these fountaining episodes too. Like, at some point, Pele is just going to be like, done.
Yep.
Kilauea is no longer erupting like this anymore. So it kind of is like a once in a lifetime opportunity to see it. So after this episode, go look on the USGS site for Kilauea and see if they have any more fountaining predictions. See if it's still going, because hands down, one of the coolest experiences we've ever had. And we did just kind of have to drop everything and go because we wanted to be there during those dates that the scientists thought it would erupt. But holy smokes, like, I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it was so neat. And I think if you're going to do it for yourself, like if you hear us talk about how amazing it was and it's still got scheduled eruptions in the future, like, I would stay in Volcano again. Like, that was incredible, because the thing is, if you can keep a close eye and you can sign up for USGS like email.
Yeah, they do email alerts
To tell you, hey, it's starting to erupt, and you're in Volcano instead of Hilo or Kona, you get a jump by like 45 minutes at least on everybody else that's trying to get in there and get a parking spot.
Yeah, we actually got parking, which seemed like a miracle at the time, but there were so many people coming in after us.
Yeah.
But the excitement was in the air. Everyone was so excited. And in fact, the people that drove over from Kona to see the volcano, when they were driving back, they were getting hit with tephra. The stuff from the volcano was hitting their cars.
Which is crazy.
So pretty cool. But oh my gosh, I don't know how to top that, but I would just say, go check the website and see if it's still erupting and see if that's something you can fit in right now, like as soon as you can, because we don't know how long it's going to be doing this. And as we said, we've been going to Hawaii Volcanoes it's been 11 years now, and we've never seen anything like this.
Especially on this somewhat regular and predictable of a schedule.
Yeah, it is. It's like every 2 weeks ish.
And it's
right
slowing
now.
down.
Maybe. We'll see. But the fountains are getting higher, so we'll see. I don't know.
So I don't know, but it's such a cool experience. And if you have the ability to just drop it and go.
And if it's not erupting anymore by the time this episode releases, I'm so sorry. Like, sorry that we're telling that we're kind of so excited about it and telling you to go, but it does erupt. Like, there is lava in this park every once in a while. And so if you missed this one, back in, I think it was 2018, they had a huge eruption. It wasn't fountaining like this, but it was coming out and flowing into the ocean, which is also very cool.
Yeah.
So, you never know. You never know what you're going to get, but definitely worth putting on the radar and trying to get out there as soon as you can.
Okay, so those are our top 3 experiences that we had in 2025.
It was amazing. No words.
Incredible.
2025 was a great year in the national parks for us. Every year is a great year. We'll find a way to top it next year. Don't know what it's going to look like yet, but
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll find a way.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Looking forward to your 2026. These were some of our greatest experiences in 2025, but for your 2026, these might be some great bucket list items. And so your task for today is jump on the USGS site or the NPS site for Hawaii Volcanoes and see if there is a scheduled eruption still going on at Kilauea, because this might be something that you can take advantage of in 2026. Or if that's something that maybe Kilauea has slowed down or is less predictable, try to find a Revolutionary War site in 2026 to celebrate the 250th anniversary.
Yeah. How could you do better in 2026 than one of those two things?
Right? How cool is that?
National parks. Yeah. Yeah.
But those are your options.
Go see what you can do. See what you can do coming up for this next year. And if you haven't already, will you please go and leave us a 5-star review? And while you're leaving that 5-star review, tell us your favorite thing that you did in 2025 in the national parks. Give us an example. Tell us about a trip you took. We would love to hear about that alongside your 5-star review. So thank you so much, you guys, for being with us. This is a great end to 2025, and we will see you out in the parks starting in January.